Welcome to the Healthy Food Guide, the new series that brings you the latest solid scientific evidence on all things food.
Research from earlier decades is now being questioned very strongly.
All you need to know about the hottest food debates from expert scientists and doctors.
Continuous exposure to poor quality diets can affect your brain.
There are nutrition-charged, easy recipes by culinary expert Sam Campbell.
Spicy.
You won't want to miss.
A little bit like me, right?
And star nutritionist Claire Turnbull is challenging a family to get real by transforming their health in just 5 months. So let's get into it. This time on the Healthy Food Guide. Is it smart to go sugar-free? I get the answers from the experts and food producers.
It is the ultimate fast food.
Hey guys!
Claire serves radical breakfast changes to our series family.
Right, give it a try.
But are the Parkinsons really ready for it?
What a great idea.
Top executive chef Sam Campbell joins Claire for a healthy chicken curry and a super adaptable dessert.
I'm Carly Flynn,
Radio show host, health enthusiast and mum.
and I want to know, what is the bottom line when it comes to sugar? In a world full of choice, can I have a soy decaf latte with non-acidic beans, please?
Sure.
Why have we got so confused about,
Sugar?
well,
Sugar is an explosive issue. Not just because it can lead to obesity, rotten teeth and serious diseases, but because obviously sugary food isn't the only culprit. Our diets now often include so many ready-made processed food that we not only find sugar in foods we least expect, but we have no idea how much we're really eating.
so can we live without it, and should we?
I asked Dr. Elaine Rush, Professor of Nutrition.
Free sugar is like the chemical in this jar called sucrose. It is a free sugar and it means it's free to be absorbed into the body. It will go straight into the bloodstream and your blood sugar will start to go up. The ultimate fast food.
When blood glucose increases, insulin is released to help its delivery to cells throughout the body. Any excess glucose will be stored as fat, so too much of it can lead to weight gain. Free sugars include things like honey, juice, maple and golden syrup, which may be a surprise if you use these to substitute for white, brown or coconut sugar, because they're all free sugars and they're the ones to watch out for because they're often added to processed food.
When you're buying and eating too much processed food, then we're soaking all our cells in sugar. And it's going to affect every part and function of your body. It's not just about the extra calories, but it's also about the damage that it does to our teeth. It also affects your gut health.
To improve oral health and childhood obesity, some schools are now becoming water only to cut out sugary drinks.
But how do you keep a check on hidden sugars?
Looking beyond marketing claims on the packet is a good place to start. Ingredients ending in OSE, like sucrose, are sugars. Be aware that 50% less sugar just means less sugar than a similar product. And no added sugar doesn't mean no sugar, because as we've seen, sugar can be found in natural ingredients like honey, syrup and juice. Watch out for products labelled sugar-free too.
They may contain artificial sweeteners, which could lessen the sugar content, but not our cravings for the sweet stuff.
So is limiting our sugar intake to only the kind found in real food a good idea?
Intrinsic sugars are actually part of the fruit or the vegetable, the plant material. So it has to be released from the cells by chewing, by the enzymes in our gut. It's digested quite differently.
By definition, intrinsic sugars are part of the fruit and veggies they're in, so we eat all the fibre, vitamins and minerals along with their sugar. Which sounds good, but what about the latest theory that our fruit and veggies are now too sugary because they've been bred that way to boost their popularity?
Is it true? And is too much of a good thing still a bad thing, even when it comes to intrinsic sugars?
I'm off to ask more experts later in the show.
I'm Claire Turnbull, and this is the Parkinson family from West Auckland.
They might seem pretty healthy, but like many typical families, they've got a lot going on.
Dad Johnny's battle with diabetes is his biggest health crisis, but it's not his only one.
Because of my type 2 diabetes, I am tired pretty much all the time and really want to put some weight on. Our eating habits are bad. A lot of junk food, too many takeaways.
Mum Nikki wants a beach babe body, but she's hit a weight loss slump.
I go to the gym 3 times a week and, I just can't seem to shift weight. I'd really like to get rid of at least 5 kilos. It's a bit depressing being fat, isn't it?
Nikki's brother Tamati is turning into a teenage couch potato and doesn't know how to change.
I eat when I'm hungry. Sometimes I'll just skip lunch or something or breakfast. Currently, my fitness and health is pretty poor.
Johnny, Nikki and Tamati have the biggest issues, so I'll be concentrating on them. But there's also Indy and Lincoln, whose food allergies create curveballs for family meals. Then there's French exchange student Jules, who might be rugby fit, but his nutrition knowledge is almost nil.
These guys need some help, and as I'm a nutritionist, I'm going to give it to them. Hey guys, let's go!
In this series, to push them to their health and fitness goals,
Feel the pain.
I'm tackling everything from what and how the family eat,
It looks amazing.
to growing their own, kids' lunch ideas, healthy baking, healthy celebrations, and in between, there'll be new experiences to change their mindset about what healthy
Andy!
really means.
Go, Nikki, go!
Phew! It's gonna be a big 5 months.
And I'm not doing this with extreme diets, unrealistic training programs, or weighing scales, because this is about making changes that are sustainable long term. So watch this space as a real life healthy change gets underway for this family.
Sugar. We know limiting how much we eat and being aware of where it's hidden is a good idea. But is sugar always a bad thing? I'm in West Auckland to find out.
What things in life can't do without sugar?
And expert local brewer Steve has a few of the answers.
A lot of people think you add sugar to make beer, but we actually make our own sugar from malted barley.
So beer starts like this.
Starts from a grain. So
Right.
Malted barley is the key ingredient for the process.
You're going to eat that, are you? It's actually surprisingly tasty.
So the malt comes from the mill into the mash tun, where it's mixed with hot water to form that porridge-like mash, and that's where the conversion takes place. We turn starch into sugar. Then we put the sweet wort into the kettle and boil it for 90 minutes with the hops to get the hop flavour in there.
So basically beer creation comes down to making sure that the yeast has got the perfect food, which is sugar.
Exactly.
So this is what it all boils down to, Steve.
Perfectly chilled beer from the keg into your glass.
But what I've always wanted to know, though, is does the sugar content in beer or in alcohol make me fat?
It's not. Common myth is beer has sugar. It doesn't. The yeast is eating all that for you. It's got a little bit of carbs left over, but 80% of the calories come from the alcohol.
Good to know.
So a few beers every now and then shouldn't give you a beer belly.
Sugar is as essential in alcohol production as it is in bread making because it provides food for the yeast here too.
And sugar's also a friend in baking because sugar tenderises baked goods and gives them good texture.
Sugar has its good points, obviously, but you do hear about people ditching it altogether. So what are the pros and cons of going sugar-free?
I got the latest advice from nutrition writer and magazine editor-at-large, Nikki Bazant.
There's nothing wrong with aiming to have a little bit less sugar in our lives, especially the added sugar, and for most of us that's probably a really good idea. We just don't want to get too obsessed with just one thing in the diet. There's really no reason to ban sugar completely. You can still have a low sugar diet full of nutrient-dense whole foods that's still got some sweet treats in it. We just need to make sure that we don't have them every day.
So a little bit of refined sugar won't kill you and you don't have to cut it out completely. But can we eat too much intrinsic sugar, like in fruit, especially when some is bred to be sweeter?
It comes packaged up with lots of good stuff like vitamins and minerals and fibre. So cutting out fruit to cut down on your sugar is unnecessary and probably pretty extreme. Fruit is really our friend. A couple of pieces of fruit a day is really great for us. When fruit is dried or when it's in the form of juice, we just need to take a little bit of care there because that's when the sugar is really concentrated.
And Nikki's not kidding. Dried fruit packs a motherload of sugar compared to the raw variety, over 6 times more than raw in some cases. So what's the best advice for managing our sugar intake?
You can have less sugar by experimenting with your baking and taking the sugar out or taking it down a little bit. Keep an eye on sugary drinks because they are concentrated forms of sugar. You can retrain your taste buds to like a less of a sweet taste. And the way to be sugar smart is to eat an overall diet full of whole unprocessed foods. And then the sugar will tend to take care of itself.
So the message is eat a balanced diet of real food so that you can avoid the added sugars that can be bad for you. Occasional sugar's okay, but the less sugar you have, the more you'll notice the natural flavours of real food. And real food is definitely front and centre in this coconut chicken peanut curry recipe that's nutritionally complete and created by the Healthy Food Guide team this week.
Well, I love curry, and this Indonesian-style red curry is packed full of veggies, chicken, perfect balance of sweet, sour, salty, and we're serving it with black rice, which is delicious. Shall we get into it? You're on rice. I need 1 1/4 cups.
Black rice is an easy replacement for white rice in any dish. It's a point of difference, but also adds flavour and texture, which I love.
And it's a whole grain, higher in fibre, higher in B vitamins, and it's a good way to get some magnesium.
Absolutely.
Once you've given the black rice a good rinse, don't be afraid to try infusing it. Pick a flavour from one of your ingredients. Kaffir lime would be a good option for this. And add it to the boil to intensify that flavour.
We're serving it plain, just to get that beautiful flavour of the rice. It takes around 25 minutes, so this dish is absolutely perfect midweek, because it's such a quick put together. I'm gonna crack on with the chicken, free range SPCA tick of approval, so it's a happy, healthy chicken. That is all I use. I'm just gonna chop it up, and I need you to make the curry paste. Grab a bowl, we're gonna put everything in and marinate it together. Red curry paste, 2 tablespoons, same amount of the peanut butter.
Unlike other nuts, peanuts are actually legumes and grow underground.
And this is toasted, so it's got that beautiful nut butter flavour, and this is where the Indonesian satay flavour comes into the dish.
The colour of that.
Yum.
And another bonus, this peanut butter doesn't contain any added sugar.
And then the amino seasoning, kind of like an umami bomb.
Umami is recognised as a distinct savoury taste,
which is another layer of flavour that really helps boost the dish.
You can use fish sauce instead to enhance the Asian feel of this dish.
And we're adding just a little bit of brown sugar to help round out the flavours. 1/2 teaspoon of that. Give it a good toss. So we've got 3 breasts of chicken. So this is quite a quick dish to cook, and so we want to make sure that everything cooks around about the same time. And find if you just butterfly it open and cut it into little strips, get it much more even cooking, like this. I find it really important to cut the meat against the grain because it helps to keep it juicy and tender. The fibres of the meat are running this way, and you just want to cut against the grain like that. Straight in. I just need you to mix that up for me.
Okay. Is it easy enough to make your own curry paste?
Very easy. I always have 5 ingredients: coriander, garlic, ginger, chili, and kaffir lime.
If you are making your own paste, it should keep in the fridge for about a week, but you can freeze the extra too. Just pop it into ice cube trays for instant paste another time.
So I'm going to saute the chicken and get this curry started. I'm just going to need a little bit of the canola spray. Just gently going to saute it, and then we're going to add the coconut milk to it.
So it's really important when people are buying coconut to check the back of the nutrition information panel because they vary so much when it comes to saturated fat content, and this one's actually really low.
And that means we're going to add the whole lot. It smells so good. It's going to simmer away, and while I'm keeping an eye on this, we're onto the veg. Beans, zucchini, and spinach. Green beans into little battens like this. And the 3 zucchinis. Another little cheeky cut we do in the restaurant. I'm going to show you. Simply cut around the zucchini, rolling it, and you get the beautiful little diamond shapes.
I've never ever seen anyone chop like that before.
I'm just going to check the chicken. Oh, that looks so good. Right, I'm going to put the zucchini in. Beans. So these are going to take around 5 minutes, and it's so easy to slip in any of your favourite veg. I love eggplant with this.
So, time for peas?
About 3/4 of a cup.
In 3/4 of a cup of peas, there's 6 grams of protein, which is the same amount that's in an egg.
Wow.
And frozen is just as good as fresh.
Grab the spinach.
Okay.
A couple of minutes, and then we're done. It's time to plate up. I'm going to fluff the rice.
So it's not too sticky, is it?
Not at all.
The black rice adds so much colour and interest to this dish. And if I was going super authentic, as well as coriander on top, I'd be adding crushed peanuts to boost that Asian satay flavour even more.
This coconut chicken peanut curry gives a tropical spin on a classic crowd pleaser. Making this dish is super easy with just 3 main steps: cooking the rice, making the curry paste for the chicken, then cooking it up with veggies and coconut milk. And this curry is likely to have way more veggies than your local takeaway. So all the vitamins and minerals that courgettes, beans, spinach and peas bring. Teamed with the whole grain rice for plenty of fibre and the lean protein of the chicken, this perfectly balanced dish will keep you fuller for longer.
As well as my passion for cooking, I'm all about helping people become the happiest, healthiest versions of themselves. And now my sights are set on the Parkinsons.
13 years as a nutritionist, running a private practice and my nutrition writing have given me the tools to get the Parkinsons reaching for their health and fitness goals.
Converting all of them to the what, how and why of healthy eating definitely won't be easy, but it starts today.
After seeing the state of their food diaries, it's clear they're in desperate need of some healthy solutions.
More honey on my one.
More.
Hey guys!
Hey!
Hello.
What are you up to?
We're making breakfast this morning.
That's unusual for you. I know from your food diary you don't often have any breakfast.
No.
Those who do eat breakfast here either load up on white toast or add serious amounts of sugar to other options.
We'll make some changes there. So have you had any issues in your family with people's health?
Yes, my two grandfathers, they both died of heart attack.
Right.
And then I've got my paternal grandmother. She has type 2 diabetes.
So some big health issues on your side of the family?
My father died before he was 50 of a massive heart attack.
Right.
I was pretty young when my father died, and it was a big impact for me, and I don't really want that to happen to my children. That's why we want to make some changes.
Yeah, there are certainly things you can do by changing the way you eat to make things better. So what we're going to do is make a bircher muesli. And all you basically do is just take some plain oats, pop them into a bowl, OK? Have you seen these before?
Yes.
Yes? What are they?
Scrabble?
This is chia seeds. That boosts the fibre and they actually make a nice sticky bircher muesli. Then pour some milk on, or you can use rice milk because I know that's what the kids have to have. And then basically when you soak it overnight, it looks like this.
Yeah.
That's actually not too bad.
It's not too bad.
It was nice when I first tried it. Now it's a bit like cold snot.
This week we're looking at sugar and how you reduce it in your meals. Chef Sam and nutritionist Claire have a dessert low in free sugars that you can adapt to a snack or even breakfast.
You're going to be seriously impressed with the combo I've got for you today. This is a trendy cafe recipe, and it's got coffee in it. You want to go make 2 cups for me? Coffee gets a bit of a bad rap these days.
It does, but coffee is actually full of antioxidants. And really only the problems come when people have far too much coffee. A couple of cups a day is fine.
Sweet. So we're using almond milk today. The flavour is delicious. It works really well with the chia pudding.
It's also a great substitute for people who can't have dairy, lactose or soy, and it's fortified with calcium.
Oh, is that right? 2 cups of the almond milk and the chia seeds. Now, I'm going to add a cup of this over the top.
Chia seeds are a fantastic source of fibre, and in one serving, there's over 75% of what a woman needs for their daily fibre and over 50% of what a man needs.
Wow. Add the coffee. You can see it swells up and turns into a thick jelly. Now, I've saved a bit of the coffee just to help mix the cocoa through it. This is going to go really nice dark colour. And a little bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon. This is the good stuff from vanilla bean. Here we go. And then we're going to sweeten it just a little bit with maple. It's tapped from a tree. It's natural, organic. It is a little bit pricier, but it just is more intense than the maple flavoured stuff. And you don't need a lot. 4 teaspoons. Grab a fork and we'll mash up 2 small bananas. Nice and soft. And for a little bit of spice, which works really nice with coffee, is the ground cinnamon. Yep, that's good. Beautiful. Okay, we're good. I'm just gonna put this in the fridge to chill down for a minimum of 2 hours. And that's basically going to soften, expand, and help this chia seed to absorb all that beautiful flavour.
Cool.
But I've prepared a couple in advance to show you how creative you can get with this little dish.
These ones have been chilling for a couple of hours. Start spooning on some yogurt, play around with the textures and different fruits of the season. I love a little bit of citrus. And I've got some prunes. And you're gonna grab the almonds for the texture. You know, using the proper coffee, just take it to the next level.
It does, and the almond milk works so well with it.
Some other practical ideas for reducing sugar is to swap fizzy drinks for sparkling water and spruce them up.
And a great way to add extra flavour is, mint, fresh lemon, lime, or even ginger.
Another thing a lot of people don't think about is the amount of sugar that's in sauces.
A little trick is to make your own salsa. Onion, tomato, fresh herbs, and vinegar. It's pretty easy.
So how are the Parkinson family going with the low sugar breakfast I showed them how to create?
That's all right.
Yeah.
You guys come and try this.
Hey, you can top it with whatever you like. Almonds, cranberries, pumpkin seeds, blueberries.
Blueberries.
Yeah, give it a go. Tamati, what have you tried?
Cranberries and pear.
Is it nice?
It's pretty good.
Would you eat that for breakfast?
Probably.
Yeah.
Apple?
Yeah. So the thing that you can actually do is add the apple and cinnamon the night before. Do you like cinnamon? That's cool.
Good.
Yeah, well done. I think she's a work in progress. What I want to move on to now is actually what you're eating on a day-to-day basis, because I have seen your food diaries. I know what you're all really eating.
I've asked them to document their daily meals, and it's given me all the ammunition I need.
You do eat a lot of processed food, particularly the kids, and there's a lot of salty foods and high sugar foods in the pantry. So we need to swap those out for more whole foods.
It definitely makes us think we really don't really eat that well, and we're not really, as good as we could be.
Then we really need to focus on the amount of vegetables that you're having. Do you need to be having half a plate of vegetables at night?
No, thank you.
and vegetables throughout the day. So that is a big change to where you're at right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty much fill my plate with meat and carbs.
To maximise their nutrition, I'm asking the Parkinsons to reduce their processed food in order to have less hidden sugar and salt in their diet, to eat whole, real foods and plenty of veggies to increase their fibre, vitamin and mineral intake.
And speaking of veggies, I've got a challenge for these guys that's going to get their hands really dirty.
Next week on the Healthy Food Guide, I'm finding out what diet really works.
What is this?
I ask the food producers and the experts.
Cutting out entire food groups could have health consequences that we don't even know about yet.
For more delicious recipes and the latest expert advice, pick up this month's Healthy Food Guide magazine.